Starting off, we have Schaefer-Kearney, escorted by Keller Schaefer. Megan Stutzman, escorted by Jacob Piper. Jenna Marsden, escorted by Robert Dunham. Jessica Gross, escorted by Jordan Toscan. Leslie Schaefer, escorted by Garrett Purdy. Nathan Howard, escorted by Matthew Kearney. Everyone give it up for the newlywed couple, Mr. and Mrs. Tim Kearney.
I'm not ready. Just kind of doing like a little outline, so I stay on the right track.
Okay, so you don't just ramble.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
We'll see. I'm working on it.
Carrie and Tim, I am very, very honored to be here celebrating your big day with you. My life truly changed when I met Carrie. We moved to Marion when I was in 3rd grade, and I lived 3 houses down from her. We were attached at the hip. We went everywhere together, everywhere. Our time was usually spent making forts in the weeds, out back, playing with dinosaurs in the sandbox, dreaming about owning horses, and having picnic lunches on the lawn. One thing that was never on our agenda, however, was boys. That's changed. After I moved away, which was my freshman year of high school, we stayed close friends, and I got a letter from Carrie that I still have. It was a little embarrassing, but I love you. Backstory for the letter: we watched Anne of Green Gables like almost on a daily basis. Over and over, we loved Anne of Green Gables. And I always called her Anne because she had the same sense for the dramatic my Carrie did, and so I always called her Anne. This letter I haven't seen in like probably a year, but it basically went something like this. I was supposed to get a pet rabbit of hers and to keep at my house, and so this is the letter I got. I know that you were supposed to take my rabbit to your house, but your rabbit died. I know how much you wanted that rabbit, and I'm so sorry. She was like distraught in this letter. She ends with something like, I completely understand if you don't want to talk to me ever again. And I was like, I have to admit, I was like laughing so hard because she was so concerned. But that's Carrie, my bosom friend, Anne of Green Gables Carrie. And needless to say, I forgave her. The rabbit was no big deal, and we continued our friendship. But, Carrie, if you write me a letter saying something happened to Tim, I will be suspicious. Watch out, Tim. You will always be my friend and my Anne of Green Gables Carrie. You have such a God-fearing heart, and as much as you love Tim, you love God even more. I'm really excited to congratulate you after being married for myself, because I actually know what's in store for you. Good luck. It really is the most amazing experience that you guys are going to have. I'm glad you're really finally starting that journey together. Pray about your marriage, forgive and forget, and be best friends for life. Best wishes and love to Carrie and Tim.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Kearney. I'm Tim's best man, but most of all, I'm his brother. And, you know, we've gone through life together. And when I was born, he was there. He was right there, you know. And that's when our sibling rivalry began. My arch nemesis, my mortal enemy, my evil brother. We went through life together, we played together, we laughed together, we fought, we wrestled, we tackled each other, had Lego wars. Our paths brought us to Awanas, and Tim was probably about 8 years old, and that's where he met Carrie for the first time. So I can actually say that I was one of the people that was there when Carrie and Tim first met. But that was back when they thought, you know, girls had cooties, guys had cooties. So they weren't quite ready for each other back then, for that reason, and probably for a whole lot of other reasons too. Life went on, we left Awanas, and you know, God just kind of caused you guys to part ways, and Tim and I continued to fight, playing together, playing ball together, running, racing, competing. I mean, just total epic battles just between us. I mean, really, kind of as epic as like the Avengers and how they were like fighting amongst each other. Really, really pretty epic. But man, God has just been moving in your life. He has given you such grace, and He's led us to overcome so many of our issues. And eventually, the foe became a friend, and he wasn't an arch nemesis anymore. God just has worked tremendously in Tim's life, and it's just been amazing to see how he's grown into the man he is today. God has prepared him for this day, for this marriage. It was like last year of like high school or so. Dad asked the boys to come to the back and work on the shed that he was building. And I remember we were back there and we were like laying out the foundation and the base framework for the shed. And Dad told me to, he was standing on the other end of the cross beam that was going from one end to the other. And he's like, Matt, would you stand on the other end? And me being the young man, I'm like, man, that kind of looks like a seesaw. So I jumped on to that beam of wood, and Dad almost fell off on his butt. And he was like, you meathead, what are you doing? And Tim just is like on the ground laughing. Meathead, ha! I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? It's bonehead. And he just kept eating it up, and it was like, meathead. I'm like, bonehead. So we're going back and forth, and like eventually, like Dad's like, all right, you guys are done, get out of here. And we're going just back and forth, bonehead, meathead. And that's the experience that God used to bring us together. And we went back inside the house, got a huge bowl of popcorn, we shared a bowl of popcorn, and got each other Mountain Dew and everything. We watched a movie together. And we've been best friends ever since. But again, life went on. Both of us went to college, going through that whole experience, and I just remember like being out at Olivet Nazarene University, and Tim would be texting me and like, Matt, I met this girl named Carrie. So just over time, Tim is just like opening up about Carrie, and eventually we got to meet her, and I remember having like Saturday night pizza together, and I don't know, you just fit right in with our family, and just it didn't take much time for you to really fit in, and we just really just fell in love with you. I'm so excited, like what God's gonna do through you too. We got this theme, this saying as Carrie means hustle, and Tim has always been a competitor, not just playing against me, but just everyone. Just like he always strives for the best, and he's such a hard worker, and just it's been amazing to see how God's not been using that for sports, but just in his life, and how he's been chasing after God, just for these past years even. Just it's amazing how God's been using you and growing you as a man and a man of God. And, Carrie, I gotta say that you just have like this gift of like bringing the best out of people, and that's one thing that I love being around you, and you truly are family. And I'm so glad that now you officially are. But I just, Tim is able to be himself around you, and I think, all of us can relate. Rachel, my parents, like, we can just be ourselves around you, and that's such a gift. And God has used you tremendously to really impact Tim. Because Tim, he usually hasn't been like this, but he's really opened up to me, and just like able to talk about stuff. And I remember like him texting me, I'm going to college, and he's like, "Man, I think I'm falling in love with this girl." That was like back in November and December, and it was just like the cutest thing ever, And I remember coming back for Christmas, and we were just like up for like hours, just in the late morning, just talking about you and just like what God's been doing, and just so excited to hear that. I just want to say that as you love one another, you're going to experience the heart of God, who is love. And so I just encourage you to love God, love each other, worship together, witness together, and to grow old together. And now it's going to be you and Tim, Carrie, going through life together, going on that journey. And I can't wait to see how God's going to grow you too. And I'm so proud of you. I'm going to continue to pray for you, and I just can't wait to just to see where the roads take us. So, to Tim and Carrie.
But we do want to thank all our families from coming from California to New York, from Missouri, to be here on this glorious day for us and be able to watch us get married. We just want to thank you all for coming and being a part of this glorious day and part of our lives on this day. And we just want to thank you for that. Thank you.